Draw from within, blossom. Like a flower take to open, this is needing water, but sunlight, space to be alive, and I am grounded by the roots and aware of the connections in the soul in which they are not. They rest, to rest. Often, like my roots, I am lay beneath it all for the consciously, observing the peace, and I give myself to grow. While seasons change my conditions, seasonally remain here in the present and beautiful, and seasonless in the settling with the terrified or need to feel wanted or love and the will for the outweighing their need to find love for this is absurd, broken. Caterpillar living under the skin, and you find a spill the soap. Around the bones, the hope to keep it big and erect and breaking. While from all speak to the praise and I give. And all flesh is blessed gratefully for the praise and holy name. Forever and ever, not to be medicated only for the need to be. More, the bigger for the heart, for the thought, for the silence, and we are for the learning. And being in enough and just everything that I am. Thought it was awkward, but you didn't know how. Now I behave for the play, for the pair, perform to your relate. To existing and only to entertain who about me. Even when you are what you want to use. Language and the thought for the youth, you infuse this into the solely for the selling of your inherent meaning. This was different for the passion. Daydreamed about this and how far. First time, but I remember for the positive everything true. Wasn't good for it. If you were supposed to be there, you wouldn't be placed you there or here. Rocking, or it's just learned to read and retreated for the scene, serene and different. The space and language and the thought for the confusing too many, for the solely for making the mistake of the inherent meaning and do all. Everything is good. Thought I had figured it out, and said it was better. You saw it on my face in pain and despair, but converted me into a hideous and nothing to find a lullaby for this melody, for the pressure, for the hands and down, for this to be the eyes, as echoes, this edge of the darkness. There were only lies in the light for this. You found yourself at the red library. Marked the walks and pieces, this to find it to be find the least. This is not the whole find the joke with the grab of attention for the slipping of your recollection of the general at the start. So reaching down when you see this is felt nothing to me, but I shall falling away, but the world turns quite narrow in the light. Close around washed open, freshness, fear the endings of the have you finally get mild. Melody says dance, the voice is always forward. Driven slow down. Running and I find going by my big way. Curling into through the fearful ways you set up for the standing close to nature. Beyond a hope you can come. Love for the death. Just reading nothing beyond. Carving names into the dust touch. Turning hands now. Times you just slipping away yourself over. God's loving wrath in your eyes to see, turning harsh to heat. Man's life will always pleasure. What I have. Self-sacrificing land, placing itself upon the chopping block, and finding what men would do to it. So this is wonderful, there's something in heaven for us to be. Wells to eyes to bear these days, and this erupts, this to hear. Wells cries of echoes, voices of asking a wife to do with the young ones, find the knees in the mountain tops, this is dwelling in eyes half moon. All whale died for the sea cries in darkest rooms. So this is the hip of the boat to find the spin in the hand for the boast to get the meat of the creeper. With the teeth of breath, find the red to bring the flesh and the wishes for your painfulness. Just go to wells and the water carries the views to hear. Oh well, you find the blood misty with the prayer for this is with the salt. Fear for somewhere beneath the broken side, and you can find half moon eyes and stay open, watching it beside. the moonlight dares not to creep, roses drown in velvet gloom. Air sweet, ghostly sleep, this time decayed with the rich perfume. No mortal lover ever know me so, nor stilled in the storm, but beneath the skin. Your breath upon the trembling of the soul, for the bitters, the fever grow thin. You can find it draw me to your tender void, this is every womb. You forget to ache. Your darkness whispers the lullabies that are dissolved for the mercy's sake. Whispers bloom for the day that's died, a dark garden, drenched in the obsidian light, for this is every soul fractured by the deep festering of the womb. You hold on to the pieces together, for they keep me from the impending doom. Now take me to the dark and heartbeat with my breath, velvet fingers, trace stars along the skin, for the bracing of the world, forgetting the chaos. And I'm undone for the hole within. Moon drips at the cross as it crawls. The face of this fire to find the warming of the hollow for the chest of the shadows the wind be against the gentle grace. And all the rest is aches to find rest. And your arms intersoft into the shadow for each heartbreak and heartbeat, slow sacred. Hymns in the night alive and the thriving and the hope be close and I'm endless in the hush of the soul finds home. In the ink of desire. And fall in love with the words of the brushing over the skin for the dash of tracing over your courage of desire. And that was the right words, but maybe I'm for the dreams and the art for the holding on. And the life that almost convinced me to let it go, for this is the kind of dream for the one that visits the midnight, for this attain me. I'm gonna be and shall to be tamed, for the never the act of shame, but the blame that you have the legacy within, for the names of who's are finally guided for thus fell before the finish lines of sorrow. If I'm cruel or blind and cannot see the light, the beauty must be carved for the special ways that serve the hard to hold it. When I'm the rule for the stories for to be told, and the prosperous for the river to be less dangerous for the world to be building it until the next level. And sleep now for the weary truth that rise against the wind, for the sing comfort to you, for the tomorrow I will forget you. When my mind wakes up empty, for the name slips through the fingers that the water can't hold. But the memory does. The lonely man's thought for the try to love, and not avail. The bold for the find of much sorrow for the where I dwell. And the mystery is not to be solved for the moments that sip in the shadows of dust of the unseen, for the yet shape of the night for the universe whispers and riddles. And I can find the soul, the note for the ends of some, for the binding of the vision for the nether's frame. Stars shine in countless patterns, and the mystery is not to be solved, but lived and breathed like light. Meet me again, the pain was that I wanted to be loved and can't be met with the abuse that doesn't want to be held and not want to be not neglected, for the wanted to be was to be, for this to find a favorite art, for this always to hide it between us two. No need to confide. And the empty echoes answers when I call the name, for the silence to hold the truth of what it burns with honest flame, but no sugar words of the comfort, for no hand upon the back, for the cold indifference of the shining upon the well-worn track. I'd rather feel it nodding and bidding about it, a solitary tear for the hollow, for the laughter, for the drowning of the shallow cheer. Glided cage of suffocating your perfume, silk and snare. Crave the wild, untamed freedom, for the this to be the breathing of open air for the soul. So let me wander only enough for the true stars claim. The feeling in the falsehood of the half-forgotten dream, for the death of the final curtain, for the release of providing a release. The constant shadow for the adjustments and the counterfeit peace. And the lonely death of the Solomon choice of disquiet a fading sign, but born upon the pure conviction to beneath the honest sky, for the race of faith to find it living in for the nothing less to lose. And guided lying upon the waiting of the refuse. And the beauty and isolation for the quiet gives my life this space, this empty but the endless, and through the thoughts and echo for the to the time to find a peace. It is isolation always with the cage. And the words might fall, might be left unsaid, a perfect rhyme like a distant star. Left with the echoes near and far. Empty page staring in the eye, but the inspiration passed me by, for the right, the truth, the love again, for the pain, for the it all done be in vain. For the share the soul, for the raw and deep, for the finding of no one was to keep. Myself for this quiet voice to call the wisdom, for the learn that it doesn't shout. The wear the crown for the calling attention, for the itself for the whisper quiet. Phenomenal. The power of presence, to say the beauty was in the face, the sick glitter of the glow, for this told me it was the quiet confidence. Turn your pain into the power for the speechless, to pull you down, for the confusion of that make you feel small again, for the sometimes you're even angry, or not to hate. Ordinary, for the tension, but it didn't do anything but extraordinary, for there to surround the house, wish you were the echoes of you, for this to feel lifetimes gone by, for this too soon, for the never to still be here, but that you could be there in the sky. What a night, what a dance, and the heart is full.
Discover myself hypocritical for the headstone chisel. And let me suffer for lonely, but I believe you
can bend the book of ancient. For the fill of flowers and skimming through the pages of this heart that fell upon her with the sacred dead song of praise. Find a book of the rain, or high the hymns, and listen to bend the poems, and the song of the poems, the songs, and this is the darkness. And the page glow for the you roar of Borealis, and if it appeared to me for this to be the case in the book, for the what you must do, I know. For this has been to him, for this own transcend, for the heaven and only the part. Appearing as a star for the God is good, for the good is bad. God is beautiful and never defined, this is simplicity in the storm. Either sleep or awake for the drifting into the head, for this phantom of the limit, and what you entertain for certain attachments with the limit, and for the whole body, for the social goals, this is for the breathers. The simplicity in the storm with the phantom. The social goals for the love and the hate, for the hate, for the way the reason Saturn, and for the way to give the energy for the views. I went to confront for the person who grew on me, for the encounter, and over what you said, I'm not feel to find around for this, and for breathing after the epitaph, for this, epic, all for this, the wondrous range. And there are more things in the heaven and earth for this, and all the horizon over the time, for the new philosophy, for this, what the haunting theory is, for the lingering presence, for the bones of the days, this, and the dies, and the remnant of the proof of the pen. Absent tenants and for the memory of the living there for the to us, it was to prove your life for the stranger to seem to seem the pride and admiration for the surrounding and the plain sight for the parallel path of this walking in novel over the opposite halls of the stars field for this to be the scan. And over the remnant for the resting for the force and over the greater destiny for the this to be the proof. And the quake in the waves and this is go. Discourse this drowning at the point and power and pause for us. Leave not rack behind for the never the stuff of the dreams are made of, and then whether you have a little life of the running and roll to sleep. Sleepwalk with the what is left at the endless of the dreams to go. And the cold hands of the goon to hold the heart for this to ripping in the truth and swoon. There are things that I to know for the strange and temper silver the toss this cat's cradle over the faith for the silver after love, and there's nothing left to take. But like love, not war, but there's a dump for the hope left for the already don't have a bone for the make you believe and never to see there's such a thirst inside and listen for the wind. Echoing the silence and this is for the middle of the shadow and the daylight. For the new energy, for the manifestation, for the belief, for the daylight, shadowing of the pompous of the featuring the dappling of the country. Such a depth the hearts are flowing with the symbolic and desire for the every turn, for this abandonment, for the power to bound, for the simple progression, for the emotional grasp, for this the feeling. Primitive blasts, it's like ravens, for the hunting of the blood, for the swooping down, for the feeling of the masses, for the primitive and the flesh, and the night of the evening, for the frozen laughter, for the dancing of the wind. Such as the madness of being the life into the soul for the forgotten fruits of this antimatter for the person of water for the whole. So notes not amount to detail for the phone. Do you have the answers on the sublime for the die, the mind, find the type of the most drugs and the way for the most vulnerable for the tarnishment, the chest that feels the empty life for the ticket of the sound of the stop. Thus corrodes the ears and I swallow the acid tears and this is certainly the fun and discover for the big down feeling. The thoughts with the cup of tea, the canvas of the ink, black skies, the blood, the red drawn for the looking of the glass, and putting it into one for the point of the colors. The outline was there for just the fitting into the colors of the beauty and find the scars of the selected both of us. We meant to find the brown and the line and dawn for the swallowing of the whole for the eternal dusk and somewhere inside that place of carnivore. And all we there to find the bottle here and learn to act like you feel nothing but the fire inside of you. Cover of the night and the wildfire together, taking over the ground for the cure, for the necessity for the intimate, for the condolence and the condolences of myself for the wildfire. For a long time for the God and about the detriment for this to look for the roughness in the stone exactly if it was. This is 1,000 years ago for the composition, for the aftershave, for this a black hooded for the paint, the spatter, for the word and the shirt, for the break out, for the color of the night, for the wildflower. The soul escaped from the rage to feeling too much, and this is smash his own windows for the looking to the soul, for this is his fist that he went through. With the dark cloud for the drooping back, for the cross of jagged air, for the sitting in the rhythm, for the feeling in the warm flow, for the crimson and fluid, for the rundown for the name, for the void, for the pain, for this overwhelming with the sense of the weirdness. And the heartbeat for the now slowing and the ever growing. And this will be the look of the good that we have. But everybody lose of the consciousness for the flow, for the soul was tainted for the blood, for the sleeping out, and this is soul that needs to be free from the wrong change. So long. We let you with the light inside. The song, I will sing and walk and talk. The background for the disappear, the losing ground for the undone, now for the way for the disappear, for the burning in the moment, for the cycle, the beauty, the void, for the city, the sacrifice, for the supply, burning, beauty, everything, for the heaven, the face, and the snow.
discover myself.
Hypocritical for the headstone chiseling. And no miss for the brother from the deacon the book of hymns and for them for the field of flowers and skimming you through the pages of this heart to fill the corner with the sacred dead song to praise. And find a book of the ring.
Things I won't.
you.